Antwerpen is a really interesting city that I frequently visit due to the fact that it is 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes away from where I live. The thing about Antwerpen that I really like the most is how they have separated it and pretty much kind of reminds me of my hometown, Rotterdam, a place that I grew up for majority of my years, a place that I sometimes reminisce about and sometimes miss, but don't visit at all due to the fact that, well, Rotterdam's 2 hours away from where I live in Zeeland, so yeah, it's not really like I can just go around the block and just visit it quickly. However, Antwerpen is a very different story. Antwerpen, when there is no traffic or any form of accidents, is only 45 minutes away. So I grew up majority of my life just outside of Rotterdam. I went to school in Rotterdam, and I can tell you one thing, Rotterdam is pretty much just like Antwerpen. They both have very similar things when it comes to multicultural places. Think about Turkish butchers, think about Polish, anything. There are some places within Antwerpen that I visited myself. For instance, a place that you can pretty much compare to the Diamond District in NYC. Antwerpen is known for its jewelry and diamonds and flashy things. It's pretty much NYC 2.0. When you're in Antwerp Central, you pretty much have an entire street dedicated just to jewelry, to gold, to even watches. Now, the one thing that I will say about Antwerpen, which is always a pain in the ass, as I said in the beginning of the video, is the fact that there's always traffic unless you go at like 1 or 2 in the morning. Then you could pretty much just zoom through it. But when you go to Antwerpen or try to enter or exit the city anywhere between 11 o'clock in the morning at like 2 in the afternoon, just know that you're absolutely fucked, because there's always traffic, there's always some form of accident. And my honest opinion, I don't know why there's so often a traffic incident there. I really don't understand. Well, it's actually quite easy. Belgian people don't really know how to drive. It's really messed up to say, but from my experience that I've been driving almost 2 years, Belgium has got to be probably the worst country I've driven in so far. Fuck knows how most of the people there got their license, but it is unfortunately a true thing, bro. Belgian people don't really know how to drive and how to anticipate in general, and let's not even speak about the roads. Some of the roads in Antwerpen are absolutely dog shit. Most of the roads in Belgium aren't good. The one thing about Antwerpen that is really good when you have a car is it's actually quite accessible comparing to Amsterdam. For those who don't know, Amsterdam, the major, nobody likes Halsema. Pretty much nobody likes her. If you like her, then something's wrong with you personally. Amsterdam, they're trying to make the accessibility for cars and motorized vehicles limited. So when you compare that to Antwerp, Antwerp is actually very car friendly. There are so many places you can go and enter. It's fucking confusing though, Antwerp. Yes, if you've never been to Antwerp, just like me in the beginning, it can be quite confusing and it can be quite hectic because, bro, you've got roads and streets everywhere, left, right, this and that. Now, there are certain places that you cannot access with motorized vehicles or with your car, and that's totally fine. There are a lot of neighborhoods within Antwerp that you simply cannot access, or it's a one-way. Although nothing beats and compares to Milano. That was a whole different city when it came to driving. Bro, that was, as a person that comes from the Netherlands that lives in a rural place, that was really fucking confusing and sometimes really stressful because Italians are a whole different level, bro. They get pissed off so quickly when you don't speed up or you take the left lane. They instantly start flashing. Yeah, that's the one thing. Antwerpen doesn't do that. Let's talk about the houses now. You won't really just find a mansion or a massive house in Antwerp, because you have to understand Antwerp is a harbor, just like Rotterdam, Vlissingen and all the other places that we have. It is notoriously known for the drug trafficking. Yes, when people talk about Antwerp harbor, everyone immediately thinks of drug trafficking. You may not expect it from a little country just like Belgium and the Netherlands, but we are heavily involved. And when I say we as a country, are heavily involved in the import and exportation of specifically hard drugs. You often find interesting stuff about the coke haven, as they say in the Netherlands, coke harbor in Belgium. It's a very big thing, but if you're not involved in any of that, then you're really safe, because it's not something that just happens over the day. It always happens at night. Like, yeah, it always happens at night, and it's not really that weird. I mean, I went to school with people that used to make and sell stuff, so when you're in a area like that, it's not nice to see and hear about, but it's just reality, man. Some people trying to make it big, and often people realize making it big, you cannot do it legally. Let's talk about food. The food in Antwerp, I haven't tasted much of it. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I cannot really judge the food. What I do know is that there are a lot of different places. You've got Moroccan restaurant, you've got Indian restaurant, you've got Pakistan restaurants, you've got everything that you could think of imaginable. You've got McDonald's, you've got Burger King. There's always something to do in Antwerp, and especially on a Thursday night. This is personally my favorite nightclub. I don't go there every week, but I go there whenever I'm in the mood with a couple of my friends. It's called Red and Blue. This is not a promotion, but if you are a student, or you know, you somewhat come in the neighborhood of Antwerp one time and you're bored on a Thursday night, just know that it's the only club, as far as I know, that is actually open on a Thursday. And you may not expect that on a Thursday night it's busy. It's packed. It's fucking packed to the point that you sometimes even have to call up for reservation and reserve to book a spot in the street, because sometimes the line is from the beginning to the end of the club. The club itself, fantastic. I really like the club. I like the music, and that's also a thing. Going out in Antwerp is fantastic on a Friday and a Saturday night. My preference personally is Friday night, because I just feel like people are off work. There's more to do and to see. You've got Latino music, you've got reggaeton, which is personally my favorite genre when it comes to going out. I don't understand why a lot of clubs that I've been to in the Netherlands so far don't play reggaeton or R&B. That's a thing I will admit. The music in a lot of clubs in Belgium are fantastic. They're different, they're a new sound. Some songs I've never even heard. So if you want to go out and get absolutely crazy or wasted or whatever, or want to just have a good time, then definitely go to Red and Blue, because they're only open on a Thursday and I believe on a Saturday. The rest of the days they're closed. Antwerp also has a lot of history. Now, I don't know much about the city itself. I've been there, man, I've been there a lot. Yeah, I mean, whenever I want to do some shopping, I either go to Knokke Heist or I go to Antwerp. If I want to go out, I go to Knokke, I go to Antwerp. But my preference is Knokke Heist, because of the fact that it's a much safer area to be in. That's the one thing we have to speak about as well, is how safe is Antwerp during the night. It is completely not fucking safe. I'm just going to be straight up very honest. It just doesn't even matter where you are. No, it doesn't matter where you are. I've experienced it myself at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, that I come out from the club with my friend, that even though I was piss drunk, I felt very uncomfortable and very unsafe, due to the fact that during these times on the streets, a lot of homeless people roar around, and a lot of junkies and criminals, unfortunately. Well, criminals is maybe a hard term to use, but sketchy, dodgy people. There's no police patrolling at any of these times. Yes, there's surveillance cameras everywhere you go, but there's no actual police that you can see, and that's what makes it very scary. And you can just sense the vibe is very off at certain places at certain times in Antwerp. So if you're a guy and a woman, especially a woman, please be careful. Make sure that you don't walk to your home alone at 4 or 5 in the morning after you've gone out. Make sure you stay with a friend, or you know, whatever the case. It's just a warning, bro, because it's not the safest at all. Because my friend got threatened at knife point for his clothing when he called me. That's just an example of how shit can go down really quickly for no actual reason. When it comes to parking your car in Antwerp, I'm gonna be very honest. It's not cheap. It is. It's kind of like Rotterdam. It's a fucking ripoff. It makes you really wonder, where do you pay all the road taxes and everything for? And that's a very big argument that we have in the Netherlands as well. We've been having for decades, by the way. What are we paying this road insurance, road tax and everything else for? And we still have to pay for car spots. Again, I never understood the point. Yes, I get it. It's to minimize the amount of traffic. But it doesn't fucking work, obviously, in a lot of places. Because in a lot of cities, there's still traffic all the time. And it's very frustrating due to the fact that parking in Antwerp is anywhere from 350 to 450 an hour. That is highly likely often outside. Like, I'm always fortunate enough to park in a garage, and that's what I always tell my buddies. They always be like, why don't you just park outside? I said, listen bro, we are in Brussels and Antwerp. I'd like to have my car in one piece and not have like all my fucking tires and shit from the inside gone. I'd rather just pay a little bit more money and have it parked in a garage, knowing that, okay, nobody can just enter and steal my vehicle. That's why I always say, when you go to a bit more popular places, sketchier places, always park inside of a garage. Don't be thinking cheap when it comes to your public transportation, because your car is your transportation. That's your way to get back home. So don't be a cheapskate, alright? Now, for the rest, there isn't really much negative that I else have to speak about Antwerp. I like the city a lot. Like I said, I go there frequently for you know, partying, but also to socialize, meet up with my friends, because I have 1 or 2 people living in Antwerp that I see once in a while. And The city itself, like I said, reminds me a lot of Rotterdam because of the fact that, A, they're both harbors. Second of all, the nighting is great. Now, let me just tell you this thing. Going out in Antwerp is way nicer than Rotterdam. I fucking hate going out of Rotterdam. I have friends living in Rotterdam. I go out with them once in a while, but I just never like Rotterdam. I don't know what it is about Rotterdam, but like the nightclubbing there is just lame in my opinion. It's not that interesting or cool at all. And I also feel like, this is again personal experience, what I've seen so far, but Belgian people are very nice in general. They just walk up to you and say, yo, what's up, where you from, this and that. Dutch people don't really do that. No, and I'm a Dutch person myself, so I can vouch for that. Yeah, we Dutch people are very me. Belgians are very nice. They're very open, very kind. And that's actually one thing that is nice about going out in Antwerp, man. People are just in general really friendly, especially in the nightclubs. But for the rest, there's not much else to really share. If you're going to go to Antwerp and you want to stay there for a night or two, definitely recommend go book a B&B or a hotel. But B&Bs are often cheaper than hotels because God knows why hotels are more expensive. I don't get the point either. But yeah, hope this cleared that up, man. Antwerp are my favorite place to go to once in a while. And it's always great going there. So, ciao, ciao.